Hello, guys.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello. Welcome to Don't Spoil the Ending. Not you, people listening. Welcome to Don't Spoil the Ending.
I hope we're welcome as well.
I mean, you're welcome. You're welcome to be on the pod.
Thanks.
But I'm talking to the listeners currently. Welcome to the show. This is episode 36.
Oh, I think so. Is that right?
Episode 36, where today we'll be reviewing the film In Bruges.
Yep.
That's the main event today. But first, how are you guys?
Yeah, not bad. Well, a bit tired, but I don't know. How are you guys?
Yeah, I've had a busy day today. Sort of going on holiday tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was that soon.
No, yeah, going tomorrow. Hadn't done any packing or anything up till today. But I've had a million other things to do. I went to the pub last night, so I didn't feel like doing that today.
You've got a football game tonight at 8 o'clock.
So straight from here, shooting home, getting straight off to Liverpool, watching that, and then from there going to my girlfriend's, and then going to the airport from there. So I'm packed, ready to go. I nearly forgot my passport. I literally was going to leave the room with my bag and everything like that, and I'm oh yeah, I might need that. Like, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
That would be handy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so have a good holiday, man. All the best.
Yeah.
Where you going?
Lanzarote.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah. Never been
Whereabouts?
Before,
Costa Tequisi?
Puerto Calero.
Right, I've never been there.
Where is it? You've been before though, Lanzarote?
Yeah, been quite a few times. Costa Tequisi, I think, every time though.
Is it a nice island?
I love it. If you're a football fan, Inman. I don't know if there's much football on while you're there, but there'll just be wall-to-wall football on in the bars for you, so good. Look forward to that.
Yeah, Liverpool are on Tuesday against Huddersfield.
Oh, that's the only problem, I suppose, Liverpool. But, yeah, watch the other games, yep.
Fantastic.
Yep. I'll just jump into something as well, if that's okay. Have you guys seen that the Doomsday Clock has moved a bit closer to midnight?
This, yeah, it's been the closest since the Cold War, wasn't it?
Yeah, 1953, 2 minutes to midnight now. Yep.
So have you heard of this Doomsday Clock?
I vaguely know the premise of it.
So I think in like 1937 or something, scientists bundled together and were like, right, we're making this clock which basically tells how close to the apocalypse we are. And it's basically stayed about 5 minutes to midnight, roughly around that area. 1953, did you say?
3 was the last time it was...
Yeah, it was at 2 minutes to midnight.
Yeah.
And it's, I think, for the past, apparently the best time it ever got was 1993, wasn't it? It was about 5 minutes to midnight.
Oh, really?
I was reading about it. Like the best we've ever got, and like the most peaceful time we've had is in like 1993.
Right.
And I think, a couple of days ago they moved it to 2 minutes to, didn't they?
2 minutes to, yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm quite looking forward to an end of the world apocalypse at the moment. Like, the way the world's going and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I'm quite looking forward to it myself.
Yeah. Hopefully, get the pod done before the world ends.
So
I just want to mention that.
end of the world is nigh and all that.
I mean, how is that determined? How's like?
I know this is the thing.
It's purely based on like the. Like basically like people who's in charge and stuff, and like the mood between countries and stuff. So like because of the tension between Korea and America at the moment, that's the reason why we've moved closer towards midnight.
I just feel like whoever's in charge of the Doomsday Clock on that day, just like if they're having a really bad day, just move it 1 minute to.
Yeah, definitely.
I've had a bad day. It's 1 minute to.
People are saying this, but like it's almost like a form of scaremongering. It's been used by the left against the alt-right to like say, oh, Donald Trump's dreadful, move it a bit closer, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's been like used like a tool essentially, but yeah, it's apocalypse coming soon. Worth mentioning though, the Doomsday Clock was in Watchmen that we've covered on the pod.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, on a news story in the film, they mentioned that because it was the height of the Cold War in like 1985. They mentioned on that the Doomsday Clock's moved a step closer to midnight. It's a big thing in the film, like
Yep. Fantastic. Today we've not got anything to talk about in regard to games or TV shows.
Yep, nothing.
So we're just gonna skip that for today, aren't we? because we've literally got nothing.
Short conversation.
Yeah.
I'm still playing Doom on the Switch, so if you want updates on my Doom career, check my Twitter feed out. You'll see.
Yeah, you're still posting your pictures, aren't you?
Yeah, every time I win a game, put a picture up on Twitter. Yeah, check that out.
Seen that.
Yep.
Yeah, I have been watching TV shows this week, but I've just got nothing to say about them because I've literally been watching, like the DC superhero films. And I'm fully aware they're crap. I just can't stop watching them. And that's why I'm not going to talk about them because I don't want to bar people with it.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, I've been watching films this year that I've just got nothing to say about them. I'm like, that was the most bland, just like insignificant. I've got no opinion of that film whatsoever, and I just can't even bring myself to mention them.
That's it.
They're so like bland.
I think that's a review in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I watched this film. I've got nothing to say.
Right. So instead of TV and games, we're going to go straight into Immon's game.
We're doing movies first, or
We can do movies.
Oh, we're doing movies first.
Yeah, just
Sorry,
a couple of movies.
but that's something to look forward to after the movies.
The listeners on tenterhooks, aren't
Yeah,
Little teaser.
Little teaser. What's it called again? I forget the name.
I need to find it because I forget it. It's my own game. Actors whose birthdays are today. Guess the age.
Yes.
Catchy. Trips off the tongue.
So you can look forward to that after we've spoke about the films this week. And who wants to go first?
Can I jump in? I've just thought of something I watched, but this is one of them films that I've barely got anything to say about. I only mentioned it because you've watched it, Inman. American Made.
Yep.
Came out on Blu-ray in the last week, so I picked that up and gave it a watch. I really like Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise is a great actor. I know he's a bit of a, he has his issues and stuff, but I think you can't fault him from an acting point of view.
No.
He always gives every film his all. But I just think this is a really weird choice for him to play this part. It's directed by Doug Liman, who's done like good stuff in the past, like Live, Die, Repeat. What was Edge of Tomorrow? It was originally called. He's done Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Go, Swingers, all stuff like that. So it's, he's a good director at making it, but it just felt a bit by the numbers to me. American Made.
Yeah, I remember watching it in cinema and going, this was not worth the entry fee. Kind of just watch it all the way through. It's a standard film, but again, you go in, well, it's got Tom Cruise in it. You're expecting that a little bit more, like from his acting caliber. Sort of, you're thinking, well,
just a film to get that kind of star power in it. You'd think it'd be a bit more to it.
Almost just goes through the motions and tells the story fine, but it's not like anything.
Yeah,
special.
nothing groundbreaking. I mean, the thing is, it's a biopic of a guy called Barry Seal, who was like an airline pilot in the US, who became like first of all a CIA like cameraman doing undercover work for them, and then became, while he was doing that, he was smuggling drugs at the same time for the cartel. So it's a true story. There's a lot of liberty taken with the truth in the film.
Yeah.
But it's got quite a shocking ending, which was the one thing that makes it worth mentioning. I think the ending I didn't see coming, but it is a true story. But the way they get to the ending in the film, they make out as if like the cartel have seen, as if like President Reagan publishes this photo showing that Tom Cruise has been like deceiving the cartel, but in real life that didn't happen. The photo didn't come out until afterwards, kind of thing. So a big point of the end of the film is completely fabricated, kind of thing. The way they've gone about it, but I mean, it's worth checking out the actual story. To be honest, to be honest with you, film's quite average though. Yeah. Give it a 3.5. Got nothing more to say about it really.
Yeah.
With these types of stories, I always feel like a documentary would be far better.
Yeah, definitely.
About to tell the story to the public.
You're right then. Like Tom Cruise is just not the right man, I think, to play this Barry Seal character. Just a weird choice.
Fair enough.
Feels more like it's Doug Liman asking for a favour from him because they're friends from like Edge of Tomorrow more than Tom Cruise is the right man for this part, kind of thing. So, yep.
I've watched 3 films. Speed, classic.
Keanu classic. Yep.
Just it's great fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a blast, isn't it?
Yeah, there seems to be different chapters of it, so you kind of have pre-bus, on the bus, and like after the bus. So kind of like
in like the tube, the train,
the
train
and
thing.
all that. Few holes that I reckon I could poke with the, when they're on the tube and again the the track isn't finished, much like the bridge wasn't finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just repeating yourself in the same film. Then. But then the track isn't finished, but they decide to speed up because they need to jump the rails.
Yeah, I don't totally get that.
I mean, and they said the control panel was shot, so they couldn't stop.
Right, okay.
The emergency stop was broken. You know, they still had access to the speed dial. You know, just take that down a notch, maybe to like 0, and you'll come to a stop at some point.
It's called speed, though, Windman.
It's called
You've got to go fast.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah. No, it's great fun watching that, and sort of like you got the real cliche sort of cops in that, and sort of like some of the lines that they come out with is like.
Well, Jeff Daniels, is his buddy cop in it, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's quite good in it, quite a likeable character.
Yeah, he's good.
It's a shame when he gets blown up.
No, I really enjoyed that. Slightly different film, watched it straight afterwards. Ratatouille. So from Speed to Ratatouille.
Pixar classic.
Pixar classic. Loved this film. Watched it many, many times, and sort of like just really enjoy watching that. It's a really good chill kind of film. You don't have to pay too much attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's got a good,
stick it on in the background kind of thing.
got a good storyline and everything like that. That's, don't know, just cheers you up, doesn't it?
I've never seen it. Never seen Ratatouille. Don't watch cartoons, do I?
I can't say I'm like a connoisseur of sort of like cartoons, like you say. Or animation, as maybe others would say.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy this film, and I think it's worth giving it a go.
Yep.
I don't know whether I'd need to rate Speed, but Ratatouille I'm putting in there as a 5-star film for me.
Okay.
I really enjoy watching it, and it's something I'd watch over and over again.
Yep.
The third film I watched was in the cinema. Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yep.
This will tie in with the main film that we're going to review today, in Bruges. Same director.
And writer, I believe.
Yes.
Written.
Yep. So a lot of the same themes and words are used through the same.
Have you heard about the controversy with this film? About people in the US are fuming because it's racist, it's anti-feminist, that kind of thing. And it's definitely that, but like that's almost like the point of the film, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it does come across that way, but I'm not going. It's made to be for those reasons. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's definitely an offensive film, but that is almost half of the point of the film, kind of thing. It's about a film about a girl who gets raped and murdered, so it's never got to be a light-hearted, easy watch, is it?
Yeah, it gets the midpoint. It gets really, really grim. There's various things that happen in quick succession where you're going, that's pretty grim to watch, and sort of like when you're watching it, it hits you. But I feel like those points are in the movie not for the sake of it. They are in there to hit the audience and sort of like hit home. Sort of like, I don't know what these characters are going through and stuff like that. I think it's a good story and
I
well written and everything like that. I love the film.
I don't want to go into it in too much detail. I'm planning to maybe do a solo pod on it or something, but I've got a few pointers on it if that's okay. You mentioned about getting grim in the middle. Like, I think the power of the film is there's a flashback scene where Frances McDormand is talking to her daughter in a flashback before she's been killed, and the way that conversation ends, like, it's like horrifying. What is said, like, and it's just a flashback scene, but the context of what's going to happen, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, but before that is said, it kind of just seems like a daughter-mother argument.
Yeah,
and then it's just like it ends with that, and it's like it is almost out of the blue, but also what happens later on, and you're kind of going, that
it really like that's more horrifying than actually seeing a rape. I think in the film, that hits home harder than
because I was thinking sort of like before that scene, I was kind of going, well, I hope we don't actually see the door, because that kind of just leaves the audience thinking like what has happened and stuff like that. Like often in horrors and stuff like that, the door will close and you'll hear a lot of screaming behind the door, and it's the audience's imagination, which is probably far worse than what they can put on screen. Yeah. Again, maybe the audience would think what happened to her is far worse than what they could put on screen, and I was glad that they didn't do that and show sort of like a a dying rape scene, like which is
Yeah.
what happened to her daughter. But I think that scene conveyed just as well,
Definitely.
if not better than
Like
what that would
the
have.
shocking nature of it kind of thing. And one of the bit that really hit me, this isn't a spoiler, Nick, but in the film, Woody Harrelson is the police chief.
Yeah.
And you find out at the start of the film he's got cancer, got like terminal cancer. And there's one scene where him and Francis McDormand has put billboards up basically to shame the police into like trying to find her daughter's killer.
Yeah.
And Woody Harrelson is having like they have like a lot of witty banter, don't they? A bit like in Bruges, you know, there are a lot of barbed back and forths in the you know, they're just throwing like insults at each other and stuff.
Yeah.
And Woody Harrelson and Francis McDormand are doing this, having this, you know, these witty, clever insults back and forth. And just out of nowhere, like Woody Harrelson just coughs blood all over Francis McDormand's face.
Oh god!
And like it's just such a powerful scene because you're like, it just hits
Again, it
home
comes out of
much
nowhere.
harder than
Yeah.
like anything showing you violence or something like. And at first, I almost thought he did it on deliberately, you know, like, as if to like spite her or something. And then he's just so embarrassed. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry," kind of thing. And it's much more powerful than anything else I've seen for years in a film.
They're clearly almost like enemies to each other, and sort of like they hate each other for what each are doing to one another.
Yeah.
And but then that happens, and they kind of just put that to one side. Then it's sort of like, well, he coughs up blood, and he's kind of sat there, and he's shocked by it because it must have been like the first time that's happened in his illness. But she's just like, "Oh, I'll go get someone. I'll go get someone."
Yeah, and he's
like,
like, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to.
Yeah. No, again, another great scene. So like, I think that's
Just the way the focus changes from this like cool witty banter back and forth to just like watching this man dying of cancer. Yeah, I think it's just a really powerful film. I like that. Yeah. I loved it.
I mentioned I went to see this in the cinema. We mentioned Speed and Ratatouille and stuff like that on the last episode when we went to watch Darkest Hour.
Yeah.
So what I mentioned on that episode was, why have we got rooms full of seats when barely anyone is in the cinema? So I did like a quick seat count, maybe.
Head count.
So in this screening I went to see, there was 10 rows of 14 seats. So that's 140 seats. That's excluding the sides, which are made up of 4 seats, I think.
I think so. Yeah, like smaller rows. Aren't
So, but they go back a little bit further. So I'm gonna say there was 220, 250 seats. How many people do you think was in the screening?
Did you watch this in Warrington?
Yes.
8.
You've over-egged it.
Oh.
Six people were in this screening. I was like, you don't need all these seats. You could put comfortable seats in for the 6 people that are in here.
Yeah.
I'm always baffled that films actually make money at the cinema. Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Seems like a bit of a...
doesn't seem like enough people. I know opening weekends and stuff like that are where they're going to make the money, but I don't know if like you have runs of sort of like. I mean, I'm sure I saw when I was looking at the times for this film, I saw a screening of Dunkirk. I mean, which has just come out on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Who's going to go see Dunkirk?
I believe
No.
that's been screened because of the Oscars, though.
Yeah, and Get Out as well, and that's back in theatres. Yeah.
Yeah, they put them back into theatres for the Oscars, don't they?
Do people go and?
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it
See it
literally
again?
only came out last year, didn't it? So, like, if you didn't see it last year, then what are you playing at, really?
Yeah. They have a show, and it's like called Silver Screenings at like 11 o'clock in the day for old people.
Right.
And I always wonder, like, do any old people actually turn up to these shows?
Well, look, the Dunkirk one was an 11 o'clock one, so maybe that.
Oh,
is what it is
maybe,
for.
yeah.
But why are you showing a Dunkirk?
Yeah.
Instead of one of the new films.
A new
that
film,
have
yeah.
done. No, I was just peeved off that 6 people were on this screen.
Well, I watched it on the opening weekend at Warrington, and it was in the big one of the big screens they have. And again, it was just empty. You know, they must have had ideas for it, putting it on the big screen with like the bigger theatre. But yeah, it was empty. There's like I say, a handful of people in there. I sat right in the middle of the premiere seats. I didn't pay for it. Just nobody in there. Might as well.
That was another thing that annoyed me. I wanted to sit in the Premier seats, and then my girlfriend was like, "No, we've not paid for it, Rob." No one's going to turn up. No, the Premier seats are not going to be full.
Yeah.
And even if someone's people... Anyway, I started to walk down this aisle, and she was like, no. And I was like, well, if someone's watching now, and we move from our normal seats to the Premier seats, they're going to go, well, they're clearly not paid. I was like, we can't move now, can we?
Yeah, we've got to see this lie through now.
She was like, oh, well, if you really want to sit there, we'll move. And I thought, we can't move now. Like, they've seen us sitting here.
Even more shady now.
Got to do it with confidence, don't you?
Just marching straight to the Premier seat.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think I'm done on films.
What would you rate that film?
I'd be giving it a 5.
5.
Yeah, I really loved watching that film, and sort of, I can't wait to see it again.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I won't rate it, but I think it's his best film, Martin McDonagh.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Amazing. I've only got one film to talk about. This is probably going to be more directed at you, John. Cause
Yeah.
I feel like you'll know the actors and stuff in it. You might, but I think John definitely will.
Yeah, I'm vague on my reactions.
Because a lot of the actors are from Twin Peaks.
Oh,
You.
So it's called Lucky, and the lead role was given to Harry Dean Stanton, who was 96 at the time, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
96 at the time, and it ended up being his swan song.
Last film.
Last film before he died.
He looked every year of those 96 years as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah, and that's kind of what the film's about.
Yeah.
It's kind of about this man that's kind of just dealing with being old and dealing with his own mortality kind of thing. And it's quite sad knowing that he died. Like, it probably wouldn't have even been that long after completion of the film, really. It's quite sad watching it, but I enjoyed it. And other people that were in it, David Lynch was in it. Mentioned last week because it was his birthday last week.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Happy birthday again, David.
He was good in it. He like, I was reading about it, and the director is I can't remember his name now. Is something Lynch again?
Shane Lynch. No, that's not Shane Lynch.
I can't remember his name. It's like Barry Lynch or something.
Yep.
But Harry Lynch, something like that. He was in. Apparently, he's an actor turned director. So I think he was in The Founder. I think he might have been the lead role in The Founder. This guy. Right. Not that matters, but yeah. So it was directed by. It's his first directing gig. And apparently, I was reading like when David Lynch came in. Like apparently it was a dream to direct, like because you'd think with a director he might try and take a bit of the reins or something, but apparently it was a dream. He came in and with his script and he was like, I hope this is all right. I've kind of muddled I've changed me script, me lines around a little bit, and just kind of make it easy for myself. And like, I wanted to show you first. I didn't want to just kind of change it. And apparently it was a dream to work with David Lynch. Yeah,
I'm interested to watch it just for the Lynch factor. I watched the Twin Peaks making of for Series 3, and you just get to see loads of how Lynch works and stuff like that, and it's just fascinating watching him direct and stuff.
I can imagine.
Yeah, he was so hands-on with that whole series that.
I mean, with this, he's just like he's playing an elderly man. Which he is anyway, but he's playing an elderly man who's a bit distraught because he's lost his tortoise. He's not got much to do in the film, but yeah, like I say, it's just him kind of dealing with his mortality, and like he gets he does get quite down at times, and I think he kind of realizes a bit into the film that he's he fell over basically. He kind of had a fall, and he realised at that point that bloody hell, I'm getting old. And he smoked like 20 a day. And I think the actor did as well.
I believe so. Yeah.
Right to the end.
Again, he looked like he did.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Right to the end as well, I think. So and that's mentioned in the film. It's just like, but the doctor actually said to him in the film, he said, like, you're the only person I'll tell this to, but. Like, I think it'd be dangerous for you to stop smoking at this point, which I thought was quite interesting. But apart that, obviously, I don't know if it's the same for Harry Dean Stanton himself, but the doctor in the film said, like, you're actually in perfect health for like a 96-year-old man.
He was literally running on fumes, wasn't he?
But yeah, I enjoyed it. It didn't end with him dying or anything like that, but it still had that quite a sad factor to it,
like melancholy ending.
I mean, it was a weird ending because he literally looked at the camera and smiled and then walked away, and like the whole film, it was never breaking any fourth walls throughout the film, and then at the end he just smiles at the camera like that was weird. It felt a bit odd at the end, but But I really enjoyed it. It's more. I feel like it's more about, like I say, more about that character. And there's a lot of things about. I just really enjoyed like the shots and stuff. I thought it was quite nice shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit like a film called The Straight Story. Have you guys heard of that at all? By David Lynch. I think it was like 1999. But in that, Howard Dean Stanton was in it. It's about a guy who drives across country on a tractor to go and see his brother. And that's it. And it's literally his most straightforward film, The Straight Story. I think that's part of it. But yeah, if you like that, definitely, I would check that out.
I probably will, because like I said, nothing happens. It's literally, you see him about 5 times throughout the film get up, walk to the cafe, get a coffee, and and then go from the cafe to the pub, and that's all you're watching. You're watching this old man be old, and I loved it. Yeah. I'd probably give it like a 4-star rating.
Nice one. I'm definitely going to check that out at some point.
Okay, fantastic. Done with movies?
Yeah, I'm done.
Before we move on to your game, we're going to do it now, but I just wanted to mention, like, the Oscars are coming soon, aren't we?
Oh, God, I forgot about the Oscars.
Did we want to mention anything about the nominations? Have you seen the nominations, Inman? Or?
Gary Oldman was nominated, wasn't he?
He was for Best Actor. Yeah. I mean, he's been tipped to win it. There's some strange nominations in there, though. I mean, this annoys me. The film "Call Me by Your Name" is getting tipped for all the awards. It's not even out in this country yet. Like, we can't even watch it yet. And The Shape of Water, we've not got that over here yet, and it's getting loads of. I
saw the trailer for that, and that looked amazing. The production for that just looks incredible. I really want to go see that.
It's Guillermo del Toro as well, so pretty much a guarantee of quality. Yep.
But like the Get Out's getting like a lot of nominations, isn't it? Like,
it is.
Not just for. I think it might be in Best Film.
I'm sure it's Best Film, Best Director for Jordan Peele, Best Actor for, I can't think of the actor's name now, but he was in Sicario, the main guy in it. Yeah, so it's up for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's got like Best Editing and stuff as well. It's like, people. But I mean. I don't know if this is going. I know I've come across racist a few times in the past. I'm hoping this doesn't come across as racist, but I feel like because it's an African American film, like they're just kind of trying to make a point. It's like, all right, because last year there was that big thing, wasn't there, about no like black nominations?
Yeah, I think it was the year before, maybe, like, because last year Moonlight was dead celebrated. Almost, I don't want to say in response to the year before, but. Yeah, like Moonlight was another one last year that I don't think it's particularly that good, but I mean it's a good film.
That's what I enjoyed the film. I thought it was a good film, but like Moonlight, this is the same with Get Out. Like, I thought it was an alright film, but I wouldn't nominate it for a Best Picture or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been a stigma how horror films never get nominated for Oscars and stuff like that, and this is the first horror film to actually do it. And there's been better horror films than this, that could have been. But I do like Get Out. I just don't think it's anywhere near my 10 best of the year or anything like that. Yep.
Okay, right. Guess it's time to move on to. I'm going to let you tell us the name of it.
Actors whose birthdays are today. Guess the age.
Insert music.
So, from last week, JT got one right. Joe got one right, but Joe isn't here today. So, Nick, catch up time.
Yeah.
So first off, birthday today, Rosamund Pike. Pike. Gone Girl, she was in Die Another Day, and Pride and Prejudice.
I'm going to go 45.
It's a good guess. I'm going to go a bit young. I'm going to go... I'm going to go 41.
She won't be pleased with you two.
Oh, no. She's
39.
She's 39.
Oh.
Well.
Oh. No points for that. Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt.
Who is the voice of Remy in Ratatouille.
Okay.
Does lots of other voiceovers, which is really good for detecting age.
Is
this why you watched Ratatouille? Because you were doing your research? No.
just happy birthday.
And you were like, oh, Ratatouille, I've not seen that.
Got to rewatch that.
Well, I honestly couldn't picture what he looks like. Is he just a voice actor? Or?
He does lots of voice acting, but he was in Two and a Half Men, a lot of US stuff. Reno 9/11, Justified. He's in Modern Family.
Who was he in Two and a Half Men?
He's one of these characters where he'll be in for 3 or 4 episodes.
I was going to say it was John Cryer and Charlie Sheen, the main two, wasn't it, originally?
But
Okay, well, I'm just going to do a shot in the dark because I haven't got a clue.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go with 50.
52, I'm going to go with.
49, so Nick, you were very close.
Oh, no.
I should defo get half.
Again, maybe I think I would have said he was older than 49. There we go. Lastly, Bridget Fonda.
Bridget Fonda, okay.
Who was in A Simple Plan, Lake Placid, Jackie Brown, and The Godfather 3. They were in 1990 for The Godfather 3, 97 for Jackie Brown, 98 for A Simple Plan, 99 for Lake Placid. Her last film that she did was 2002. She hasn't been in the film since.
I believe she's married to Danny Elfman, the composer. I'm going to go with... What year are we in now? 2018?
2018, yeah.
I'm going to go with 52 again.
Nick?
Go older, 55.
Yeah, I think she might be a bit older, actually.
Nick is 1 year out again. Oh. She's 54.
I should definitely get half points for this. I'd be in the lead if I got half points for all the closest to.
Unfortunately, that's not how actors whose birthday are today, guess the age, works. But no points this week, so Joe and JT are still in the lead, joint leaders. Nick on 0.
I think
2
we
weeks
should make
into this game.
The first one to 100 wins.
First one to 100. Okay. Doomsday Clock will hit midnight. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic. Hello.
Better luck next week, guys.
Cheers.
Hello. I mean, you won't be on it next week, will you?
No,
course,
I might still be able to write you up.
Skype in with a few questions for you.
Yeah, you can possibly make some up, get some up, and give them to Joe or something.
Joe will love doing that.
I'm even thinking make a recording for us, play it on the pod.
Yeah. Okay.
Pre-recorded
That's a good point because if you gave it to Joe, he can't play. So
true.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'd have to play. I mean, this is definitely a discussion for off the podcast, but you'd have to play. You'd have to play the up to a certain point, and then I give you the answer. But you'd have to be careful not to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Sorted.
Production value there.
Fantastic. Well, like you say, we'll leave all that off for off the pod.
Yep.
But I guess it's time for the main event.
Yes.
Which is this week in Bruges, which, like you say, is directed by the same guy who directed Three Billboards.
Mm-hmm.
And 7 Psychopaths as well.
I think, John, you might be able to give us a quick synopsis off the top of your head, couldn't you?
Have you got anything there, Inman? Or?
I've not got anything written down. If you've got something off the top of your head.
I can do something off the top of my head. Colin Farrell's a hitman who, after killing a child accidentally, is told by his employer to go and lay low in Bruges. And basically the film's about him and Brendan Gleeson's escapades once they get there. And it all culminates in a bit of a bloody shootout at the hotel they're staying at. Yep.
Fantastic. Who wants to start? You've got notes, haven't you? Both of you.
Yeah, I mean, I can just mention something straight off. It's been a long time since I watched this. I watched it when it first came out in 2008. Then I think I rewatched it when 7 Psychopaths came out in 2012. So I've not seen it since then. And it's easy to forget now how unpredictable the film is the first time you watch it. I was watching it last night, kind of taking for granted, I know this is coming, I know it's like, but the first time I watched it, it blew my mind, kind of thing, how wacky the film is and stuff. Yeah. So I just wanted to make that point that it's the kind of film that works better on a first time watch, essentially. So a lot of the shocks and twists. If you haven't watched it already, definitely watch it before listening to this. To this review,
probably best.
Yeah.
I agree on that, but I've watched it a few times and everything like that. But again, I've not watched it in quite a while, and it was way funnier than what I remembered and stuff like that. So I remember it being funny and sort of there being jokes and stuff like that. But it was just we'll get into it and stuff like that. But the wit
I'm actually going the other way, to be honest with you. I didn't find it as funny as I did the first time.
Right.
But, you know, it works better when I first time watched, doesn't it? You know,
I was going to say, I think I was laughing before some of the lines came out just because I knew what was coming, and it was just like, I just enjoyed watching those bits where...
Can I mention where all my laughs come from? I'll just mention, like, Brendan Gleeson plays Colin Farrell's partner, who's been sent to watch over Colin Farrell, and in the end, to actually kill Colin Farrell, because Colin Farrell killed a kid by mistake. And it's Brendan Gleeson, Colin Farrell, and Ray Fiennes, who's like their employer, the hitman's employer. And all the laughs may come from the interaction between them three, just like naturalistic dialogue and stuff, but just used in such funny ways, kind of thing. Just all the one bit I actually laughed out loud last night watching it. The bit where Ken, Ray Fiennes, phones up Brendan Gleeson. And he's like, is Colin Farrell there? And he's like, well, he's just in the toilet. It's like, is he having number one or number two? It's like, well, I think he's just having a wee. He's not even there. Like, he's just making it up, like, because he's actually gone out drinking. And it's like, oh, I'll send him out on a job. You know, I just need to talk to you for 10 minutes. So he's got to then like mime sending like this fake Colin Farrell out to. And it's like, come on, go out and find a bowling alley or whatever. And he mimes the whole thing in the end. And then Ray Fiennes is like, is he gone? It's like, yeah, he just left now. Go and check the hallway, make sure he's not hanging around. I just laughed out loud. I was like, he's not even there.
Yeah. Not been there the whole time. He's not been anywhere near. And yet they've had to go through all this, like...
Yeah, just double check that he's definitely not there when he was never there in the first place.
Doesn't he ask after he's gone as well? Like, was he having it? One or two?
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's like, it's number one. Like.
No, it's a good bit. One of the bits that I really liked was when they're on the stairs, so... Colin Farrell's at the top of the stairs. The hotel owner, the woman is sat on the stairs. She's been stubborn, not letting Ralph Fiennes go past, even though he's got a gun, and sort of like he's just hard hitman.
Yeah,
and but I just thought like it's. I got the line somewhere, but it's just.
I remember that bit. It's the bit you're on about where they agree a plan where like Colin Farrell's like, look, I'll jump out the window, jump in the canal. You've got a chance to go outside, and you can take pot shots at me from out there. But then Ray Fiennes is like, is it left or right? And it's like, it's a big fucking canal. Like, you can't miss it. I said, well, I've only just got him, haven't I?
But it's when, but just before that bit as well, the woman says, why don't you just put the guns down and go home? And he's like, don't be stupid, this is the shootout. But it was just said with such like disdain, like for her, like just get out of the way. Like,
are you mad?
The shootout, this is what we're supposed to do.
I just love again that naturalistic dialogue where it's like, is it left or right when I go out of here? And it's like, you're joking, it's a big fucking canal. You can't miss it.
I think like it's even like that from the very beginning. I've got like the opening shots, like you got like nice piano music and the shots of Bruges and stuff like that, and then the voiceover comes in of how he's describing like his job that he messed up. It's sort of like I had to go into Burger King and wash my hands. And I was just like, it's such a British thing, like just the voiceover, like the difference between the nice shots on screen to going, I went into Burger King to wash the blood off my hands. I was just like, yeah. I thought that was really good. But there are so many
just in terms of the dialogue and stuff, I like the fact that it's great at writing witty one-liners that make the characters sound clever, but he also has moments where people just say absolute bollocks, like you just think like, oh, you had a bit of a nightmare there, kind of thing. There's one bit where Colin Farrell's like talking to the Canadians in that restaurant, and he thinks they're Americans. And like they're having this argument back and forth, and Colin Farrell's just like, tell it to the Vietnamese, and the guy's like, what are you talking Vietnamese, what are you talking about?
Vietnamese got to be.
Yeah, I thought that was good. But again, it's quite hard to I found it quite hard to review the film. I hardly took any notes, just because it's a film primarily about dialogue. It's all about the interactions with people and stuff, and I just found it really hard to actually review it on that level, really.
Yeah. I think there's some. I'll try and make some comparisons to sort of like Three Billboards. The dwarf is in Bruges and Three Billboards. I don't know what his.
I see. I've actually got a note for this.
Right, okay.
Common misconception. This.
Okay.
It's Peter Dinklage in Three Billboards, who's Tyrion from Game of Thrones. It's actually Jordan Prentice in Bruges, but it's everybody thinks this. Like if you Google it, there's websites saying it's not Peter Dinklage in Bruges, but they do look remarkably similar. Like
I wasn't going that way with it. I could see they were different, but no, nice of you to jump to that conclusion.
Yeah.
No, I just like. I don't. What is there a reason why the writers or directors put the same kind of theme in there and like because it is played upon a lot in Bruges, like the dwarf is there and stuff like that, and sort of like he karate chops him at one point.
Karate chops him, and in Three Billboards, it's like, again, it's almost like an offensive point of the film where everyone's pointing out the fact he's a dwarf,
all he does in Three Billboards is nice things for people. So like he wants to take her out on a date and stuff like that. He's holding the ladder. For her, and you really don't need to know. Oh, but I like it.
I like holding the ladder.
And like, yeah, just a bit. I don't know whether he's just playing upon it a bit too much.
Well, I found it weird as well, like because there was that whole thing of after in Bruges, everyone was like, "Oh, it's Peter Dinklage," and it's like it's not Peter Dinklage. But then he cast Peter Dinklage in almost like an in-joke kind of thing, you know, like you all thought he was in this film, but I'm actually going to put him in this
one. Another link. The amount, but Joe's not going to like this again. The amount of times "cunt" is said.
Yeah, we went about this in work today.
A lot of times, isn't it? What's that like one line? Well, it's that conversation, should I say?
Yeah.
When Ralph Fiennes sees him and sits down with Ken in the Brendan Gleeson in the square, and he's talking about his cunt kids. And
he's saying to him like, "Look,
Harry,
you're a cunt. You've always been a cunt. In the future, you're going to become an even bigger cunt, and you're going to have more cunt kids." It's like, you fucking take that back.
I retract the line I said about your cunt kids. Said a lot, especially in that short space of time, but it is said throughout the film as well, and in Three Billboards, it's said quite a lot.
It is,
to fairly funny effect.
So the writer-director seems to like the word cunt.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Or maybe just the power it has behind it when someone says it. It's quite a strong word, isn't it?
Yeah, grabs your attention, doesn't it?
Cunt, dwarves, and a lot of blood.
Yeah,
in both films.
I mean,
both films.
That's one bit in Bruges that like where it's quite bloody. And it's quite sickening actually when what's his name, the actor?
Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson jumps out of the
Yeah.
the clock tower and the splat, it's the most sickening thing ever. But then straight away, like it's almost funny because like Colin Farrell runs over and he's like, "Take it back on." He takes it and just falls behind his hand.
Springs and everything like
the spray of the blood when he hits the floor.
Yeah. And like Colin Farrell's like, "Where's my gun? Where is it?" And he's like, "I think I'm gonna die now."
before he jumps on the clock tower, like he almost like sprinkles the coins, and like people looking up and standing back, almost draws a crowd of like to witness this horrifying act, and then being like covered in blood at the same time. Like, but it's like when he was shot in the neck and everything like that, you saw like the spray come out.
That was good. Again, I like that bit where Brendan Gleeson like explains that he's sent Colin Farrell away so he can't kill him, and he wins over Ray Fiennes not before he shoots him in the foot, just as a one act kind of thing. But
I can't fucking shoot you after you said that, can I?
Yeah, that was good. But then like as soon as they realise Colin Farrell's a complete idiot and he's down in the square again, it all just kicks off again.
There's that guy in it with the one eye.
Oh God, yeah. That's a funny scene when Ray Fiennes turns up and he's got the eye patch on, and like Ray Fiennes is talking to Yuri and he's just sat in the background. And shouting nowhere, he goes, "Fucking
motherfucker!"
And he's like, "Are you talking to me?"
he doesn't say to him though. He says, "Yuri, is he talking?" Like, he just won't even acknowledge that he's there. It's just like, But again, he says like the same thing about being a puff, skinhead puff to him as the same thing as what Ray said, like how Farrell said. It's just like, I think like a lot of the writing in this, it links around to other parts of the film so much. So like karate is mentioned, like being a lollipop man knows karate, like and then he uses the karate chop and stuff like that. The Vietnamese sort of like, well, who said the Vietnamese going to be on when the dwarf is talking about the blacks and whites fighting each other,
the race war,
and then like, but he brings up Vietnamese when he's in the restaurant as well. And stuff like that. But it all like so many things just like link around and everything. Like that. I think like it's really just clever writing. I really like that.
Yeah, I love that. Just that one is like, and which side are the Vietnamese on? And Jordan Prentice is like the blacks. So I'm fine with the blacks.
I don't know if it would be like a connection, like where they've tried to connect it, but like that's Canadians, where he thinks is Americans, but he has like an interaction with some Americans earlier on in the film, doesn't he?
Oh God, yeah.
Like that's one of the funniest bits for me. That where like they come over and they say, "Oh, do you want to? What's it like up the clock tower?" It's like, "Oh, you don't want to go up there," kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I love that scene, but for me, the funniest bit is a bit right after it, where like Colin Farrell says, "Like, I'm not being funny, but you're a bunch of fucking elephants," and they're like, he's just chasing him around trying to hit him. But the funniest bit is when they give up and walk off towards the tower, and Brendan Gleeson comes out. It's like, they're not going to the tower, are they? It's like, "Hey guys, it's really narrow up there." They're like, "Fuck off!"
Really politely, but he gets the brunt of it. Like, he gets a worse reaction from him than what Colin Farrell did.
Yeah, like, nice little payoff there at the end.
But like, the fact that they go up the tower, that's linked back later on again because the clock tower was closed because an American had a heart attack up there the previous day.
Yeah.
So that's linked round again, and it's like, I really enjoy that.
And it ties into the fact of like when Brendan Gleeson and Ray Fiennes are up there, it takes like Ray Fiennes half an hour to get down because it's just all winding corridors.
I find Brendan Gleeson, Ray Fiennes is going down and it's taking advantage of Brendan Gleeson's. I'll just jump off the top, it's much quicker.
Yeah, just straight down.
You almost see him doing the calculation going, I've just been shot in the neck and the leg. It's going to take me a long time to get down, so I'll just jump off.
Yeah, just go back up. That was good. Did I mention then about Yuri, the gun supplier? Just some of his lines I think were amazing. When first of all, Brendan Gleeson goes to get a gun, and he's saying like there are lots of places to hide around here in the alcoves. And he's like, "Am I saying that right? Alcoves?" It's like, "Yeah, alcoves." And I was like, "Is that the right word, alcoves?" "Yeah, like nooks and crannies." Nooks and crannies. This is very good. I will use that in future. But then when Ken goes there later, and there's like, I was telling Brendan Gleeson about the alcoves, and but then it goes past that bit, and Ray finds like, "I need bullets for the gun." And it's like, "I have these dum-dums. Is this the right word, dum-dums?" They make the head explode. Yeah, I love, against the dialogue, it's just fantastic in it.
I think it almost goes back to when we reviewed Panic Room, that the thieves in there sort of like are all different kind of characters. And I think to some respect, like Ray and Ken are totally different people. Like Ray has just shot this kid and he's like pretty emotional about it and stuff like that, but like he's a hitman and stuff like that. He's supposed to be like hardened and stuff like that. Whereas Ken is clearly like more hardened, and he almost pokes fun at Ray's guilt of it like very early on.
Yeah,
but, like Ray hates in Bruges, being in Bruges or Bruges itself.
I'm pretty sure like the first line he says, like when you actually see him on screen, he says, "This is shit."
This is shithole. He refers to Bruges as shithole all the time.
Yeah.
Even in his, I'm going to say, dying scene at the end, where you don't actually know whether he dies or not.
Yeah.
Even in that scene, he has another dig at Bruges, like he calls it a shithole again.
Yeah. Can I jump in there? Mm-hmm. You're mentioning Harry and being like more of a hardened character. I love the phone, like they do a good job of like building up the reveal of Harry kind of thing. Because first of all, it's just phone calls that you hear him, and the way he's just like telling Brendan Gleeson about Bruges. And like, it's like some kind of fairy tale.
Brendan Gleeson's Ken. Ralph Fiennes is Harry.
Oh, so I've had those names mixed up for the whole podcast.
Yeah,
I think you only mentioned it once earlier,
right?
So it's not that big.
Yeah. So go back, bleep all those out.
I'll just do a voiceover. Just go, Harry.
Yeah.
but
I just love all the phone calls when it's like some kind of fairy tale.
But the first, like you say, you're building him up. Like the first thing is like a note, isn't it? Which is given to the receptionist, and he's there, but having a go. Like, why the fuck have I haven't talked to a receptionist?
But I love the way it's put down. There's one little subtle joke in that I never realised before. again, it's the benefit of watching it in HD. I've only ever watched it on DVD before, but he has like 3 points. It's like, 1, why the fuck have you done this? 2, why have you done this? 3, and blah, 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 receptionist. Then she's wrote the little note at the bottom saying, I'm not the receptionist, I'm the co-owner. I never saw that before.
I did like that.
I've got a few more notes, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned the music earlier, and it's by Carter Burwell, who's like a well-known composer, but he does all the Coen Brothers stuff as well, and I think he's done all 3 Martin McDonagh films so far as well. I'm not a big fan of him, to be honest. His music's very kind of similar, I think, for all the films he does. It's all ominous and kind of brooding and sort of like, like kind of... So I'm not a massive fan, but yeah, it's got a style at least, but...
I didn't know it was the same person, but I did wonder that when I was watching Three Billboards. Well, watched Three Billboards, started watching in Bruges, and in Bruges, I was thinking that music was pretty similar to sort of Three Billboards. So yeah, that'd be the reason.
Similar kind of ominous feel. It must be going for there.
Yeah.
Just one last point as well. There's a scene earlier on when Colin Farrell's sat on a bench next to a guy, and he's got the weirdest dog I've ever seen with him. Did you notice this? He's got a dog like on his knee, and the dog turns to look at Colin Farrell at one point, and it's like, what the hell is that dog? Like, it was terrifying.
It looks like a toy dog or something. The eyes just don't.
The eyes are bulging out and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did notice that. I was like, that's almost creepy.
Yeah, I like dogs, creepy. But not that dog.
There's another shot when I think these were the open titles as well, where you're being shown shots of the city and stuff like that, and there's an open window on one of the buildings, and there's a pretty big Labrador inside at the window. At
the window, almost like peeking out the window.
Looking out the window, but like the way it tilts its head, or like moves its head across. I was like, it's so human. Like, it
was like a human stood at the window with his arm on the windowsill.
Really or something. Like, if I saw that, I'd have thought, that dog's up to something. That dog's got a plan.
That dog's a hitman. Just one more thing that's worth mentioning. We mentioned earlier the fact that the thing that kicks the whole plot off, Colin Farrell is sent to kill. It's actually Kieran Hines, who's like, he was in Game of Thrones as the king beyond the wall and stuff. He's the priest who's sent to kill. And he kills him, but accidentally kills a kid at the same time. The scene at the end of the film when Ray Fiennes thinks he's done the same thing and killed a kid. I like the fact that even after Colin Farrell's been shot 4 times, it's like, no, Harry, it's not a kid. trying to stop him from killing himself.
But if he didn't have dum-dums, because it blew his head up.
Yeah.
So he couldn't tell that it was a dwarf.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Ties in again.
You went for the dum-dums?
Yeah. Is this the right word? Dum-dums?
I got a few of the one-liners if you want.
Definitely.
Want to go through a few of them. When Colin Farrell first meets love interest, the girl.
Yeah.
He's asked her, "Do you speak English?" She replies, "No," and he replies, "Yes, you do. Everyone does."
Very good.
There's a bit of a dig at Tottenham.
Yeah, I caught this.
This. I didn't pick up on this on any of the other watches, but I thought that's quite funny.
Yeah.
It refers to Tottenham as being not that shit, but not that great either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good analogy of Tottenham.
Yeah.
Said it earlier. What's a 50-year-old lollipop man doing knowing karate? When they're in the restaurant and before he has the pop at the Canadian / American.
Yep.
They're talking about Belgium, what it's famous for. Can you remember the joke that was said?
Yeah, is it chocolate and paedophilia?
Yeah. What's Belgium famous for? Chocolates and child abuse. And they only invented the chocolates to get to the kids.
That's very good. But she replies with, my best friend was one of the victims.
But she wasn't. So
yeah.
So some of the lines about Bruges, especially that Harry makes, is all that beautiful fucking fairy tale stuff.
Yeah.
Really like that.
That's great.
And then he asked, is the swan still there? Not swans, just the swan.
The swan.
When he visited when he was 7. Like, still that same swan.
Just on that, I like the bit where Brendan Gleeson has finally had enough of Harry and he's on the phone to him. And he finishes it by going, it's like some kind of fucking fairy tale, and just hangs up on him.
But that's mentioned all the time. Like when I think when they're at the top of the tower again, he says, "Oh, it is like a fairy tale."
Yeah.
Are you taking the piss out of me? He's like, no, it's a fairy tale.
Have you got the bit there where the end of that phone call is when it finally cuts to Harry and he's seen for the first time? Have you got the note of that for that when
The
Yeah,
I'm not going to be able to do it because I can't say inanimate. Is that
inanimate?
inanimate?
Go on, give it a go.
I've got it somewhere. Hang on. He's on the phone, isn't he?
Yeah,
And gets off the phone, starts bashing the phone, and
yeah.
And she's sat in the living room with the kids. And I was she gets up, comes through to Harry, and I was expecting, don't do that in front of the kids or anything like that. Just goes to Harry, it's a fucking inanimate object. And he just turns back to her and goes, you're a fucking inanimate object.
And I just like the apology bit later on when it's like, sorry for calling you an inanimate object.
Again, all still in front of the kids.
Yeah, the cunt kids.
The cunt kids, yeah, that's the ones. Go back to sort of like when they go to meet Yuri and the blind guy is sat there.
Yeah.
As soon as Ralph Fiennes walks in, he goes, aye.
Yeah.
And he's
I like that. Just on that bit, I like the whole fact of like when the guy's like motherfucker, and it's like, well, is he talking to me? Like, and then he explains he's like the guy I was holding up with a gun full of blanks, and he took the gun from me and he fired a blank in my eye, and Ray Fiennes is like, so let me get this straight, like you had a gun with blanks in it, he took the gun from you, shot it in your eye and blinded you, he stitched you right up.
I think before that he goes, well, that sounds like you're to blame there. You're to blame that you got shot in the eye. Another moment when they're on the stairs, Ralph Fiennes says, I am a nice person, but could you just get out of the fucking way? I think that's it.
Should we leave the review of the film there? Or?
All done?
Yeah, I think I'm
All done?
I think I'm done.
We'll give our ratings and then we'll finish it there.
Yes.
Cool. Do you guys want to start?
I know my rating straight off the mark.
I'm dropping a bombshell here, so I want you guys to go first.
Maybe a 4-star.
Oh, okay. Mine's not much of a bombshell. Okay. Anything else to add to that?
Oh, should. I mean, I don't know. It's like you say, it's great interactions, isn't it? Like I absolutely love all the interactions between the characters, and the shots are amazing as well. Like I think it's such a. I love the fact that Colin Farrell the whole way through was calling it a shithole, but it's such a nice looking place.
Yeah,
it looks amazing. Like.
Just one last thing I'm not a big fan of is his title cards for any of his films. I just don't like the style of them and stuff, but it's just only a little thing. But in Bruges, 7 Psychopaths and 3 Billboards, not a fan of the openings of the films. But I thought I was going to be dropping a bomb here. I thought you'd be both giving it 5 stars, but I'm going very heavy 4.5. So you've stole my thunder a bit there. Yeah, really heavy 4.5. The reason I'm doing that is I think 7 Psychopaths is a 4. I've got to watch that again though. This is a 4.5, and I think 3 Billboards is his best film, and I think that's a 5. So heavy 4.5. Just not as good. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, and as much as I remember doing in the past.
I think, well, like you said, I'm going to give it a 5-star. Again, like we mentioned earlier, I think I enjoyed it on this watch more than I thought I was going to and stuff like that, and I found it really funny and stuff like that. And I think I don't know, I must have just forgot like how good it was and how funny it was that I didn't watch it in so long, but I think I'll definitely be getting around to watching it more. Can
I make you compare this to 3 Billboards? Which one do you think is better?
I still think 3 Billboards is better.
Yeah,
I've done some comparisons in like between the two films, but I think they're very different films. 3 Billboards is just not as funny, and there's more of a.
It's more mature and kind of thing. But it's 10 years older than the director, so it's going to be kind of thing. But
exactly,
it's more of a complete film, I think, than this one.
It tells a much more poignant story than what In Bruges does, which is violence.
But you win 5 though.
I'm still going 5. I thought,
cool,
fantastic. I mean, just to clarify, like I did love the film, but I can't justify giving it a 5-star because it's not a 5-star for me. I mean, I like you, I enjoyed it like more this time than the first time I watched it, but it's just still a 4-star film for me anyway. Yeah. I'll just we'll give out the social media. We can link it there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right, we're on Twitter at
DSTE Podcast. Like us, retweet us, do what you want.
Defo, yep, sounds good.
Follow us.
Message us, whatever you want.
Yeah, get in contact. We're still not getting many contacts.
No, we welcome all feedback.
Yeah, love it.
We're on Facebook. You can just search us in the bar at the top. Don't spoil the ending, and we'll be there.
Yep.
I've got an Instagram, but I don't know what it is ever.
Same as a Twitter, DSTE Podcast. But
I keep forgetting.
Last updated, can't even remember when it was last updated. Eternal Sunshine, I think, was the last one we got.
You put a picture up from our Darkest Hour trip. Was that just on Twitter? That
was just on
Twitter.
Yeah.
Right, nice one.
Individual Twitters, I'm at DST Nick.
Yep, I'm at Taylor1980, and you can email at don'tspoiltheending@gmail.com.
And I am at Rubik's Football on Twitter.
Yep.
Fantastic. End it there. Like I think we've not had much to talk about before the main show, but I feel like it went quite well, this one.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, yeah.
It's been a good one. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yep, cheers.
And we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.